Hi, I'm Gigi. Why are you laughing at
I'm, and I'm Mimi.
me? Well, this is Love Island Tea Time featuring
Valentine
lots
time.
of giggling.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going on with this thing. It didn't even give me a countdown. So it said we were recording already, and then like 10 seconds later, you went, "Hi, I'm Gigi," and that's when I started laughing.
Please. Also, it was exactly 5 seconds later. That's how it works.
Well, anyway, this is Love Island Tea Time. In case you missed it the first time, welcome
It
back.
sure is. We have been going week to week, week to week, week to week. Do, week to week. And we're
Okay,
talking about people from Love Island, USA who have broken up or are still together. It's not a lot who are together. From
for
season
real.
6 and season 7.
A lot
Beep,
of
beep,
them
beep, 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 beep.
have actually, not a lot of them, but there have been quite a few who recently broke up in the last few weeks that we've been doing this.
Literally.
So I guess I'm in charge today. Bear
Hmm.
with me. I've never been in charge of anything in my entire life.
That is a lie. Your face.
So we're talking about couples from Love Island USA. We're gonna start with season 6 because that's when I started watching. Because that's, I think, when it kind of got better or started getting better. From what I
So when it
hear, the
started getting
consensus.
popular.
I'm popular.
Stop it.
If you know that reference. No, it wasn't. It wasn't that. It wasn't that.
Oh.
It was Amanda show. But okay.
Oh.
I just aged myself. Anyway, we are gonna go through the top 4 couples, starting with season 6. In 4th place, we have Nicole and Kendall. Do you remember them?
I remember how they broke up 3 seconds after, and that they were my ride or die, they were my favorite, and then I got egg on my face.
Really? I didn't know that they were your favorite.
They were. And you did, because then you were like, Kendall has a sex tape, like 3 seconds after I said it.
That's true. That's true. Yes. So they literally broke up 3 seconds after getting out of the villa because of a nude video that was leaked of Kendall from someone from his past, which was really shitty to happen. I don't think anyone should be exposed that way.
Mm-mm.
But
I thought it
from
was
what
a
I
video
can,
from when he was in holding before he went on the show.
it might have been that like he sent a video to someone right before he gave his phone away.
Um,
Yeah.
Dang.
And the timing of it all is what played into him and Nicole breaking up. From the jump, I didn't really feel like I liked them together, but I knew Nicole had a lot of trust issues.
Yeah, I remember that. I do recall that. But at the time, it seems like they were actually really building something. I've seen people compare him to Zach. Okay, there we go. I was
Okay.
like, I know it's happening. I know who was on the show a couple weeks ago. I've seen people compare him and Zach, and I'm like, I don't feel like they were the same. I feel like he was actually more all about her, like, really, and wasn't being as, like, odd. But yeah, I was bummed when they like immediately broke up because I generally have a very good track record for picking long-lasting couples. This season, clearly, as I'm looking at this list, I did not.
Yes. I remember liking Kendall for the most part. I think he
Mhm.
did like maybe one shady thing where I was like, I don't like that. But I do think that him and Nicole did have something really special. I think he was able to break through a lot of her barriers. And I did think that she was genuinely heartbroken over the fact that they were not together. I know that they tried to make it work outside of the
Yeah.
villa. It just never did.
Yeah.
I don't think she could bring herself back to a place where especially after that video where she wanted to be a part of that.
That makes sense. I can understand that. Also, with the US, it is just harder to make it work after leaving the villa. In the UK, like your maximum, like a 6 hour drive away from somebody, usually, like end of country to end of country, maybe 8, but still, like you can take a plane or a train to someone like much more reasonably and be there and it not be like a crazy thing to go to their what do they even call a part of an area of the UK? It's fine. No one's going to drag us this time because this is an episode that's titled about USA, so I can be ignorant about England's geography. So don't worry about it. But you could go city to city and it's not that big of a deal. Like, I'm pretty sure. Can you fit UK into Texas? Let me look it up.
Uh,
Can
there
you
she goes.
fit the UK into Texas? I need the answer now. Yes, the United
I
Kingdom can easily fit inside Texas. So there you go.
kimono, robe, there you go.
Please don't make me laugh that hard about that. So, yeah, it's a lot easier to have something sustainable when you come off of Love Island UK than it is when you come off of Love Island USA, because just because you're in the same country doesn't mean you're near each other. Like, you could be from New York and LA, from Texas and Florida, from Texas and Alaska, really.
That's
So,
true.
it's a lot more like the long distance really is long distance.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, and then we have in third place Janae and Kenny, which,
We all know how that went.
yeah, we kind of already have touched upon, but we'll do a quick refresher. I really thought, no, let me take that back. I felt like Janae was
Didn't even
always
say
more
anything.
into Kenny. I know. I took my thought back before it even came out. I really thought Janae was into Kenny more than Kenny was into Janae. That's how I felt pretty much the entire time. I knew he liked her, but I always felt like feelings were more, I don't want to say one sided, but I always felt like she was more down for him.
Yes. Here's how I felt. I think that Janae, from a good place, really pushed and corralled Kenny into being who she thought or wanted him to be.
Mm,
I don't want to use the word controlling, but I just want to say, like, it came off as mom and son more than it did as romance to me. And not in the way of like that was exactly the relationship, but it felt like she had to teach him a lot, push him to be this way, that way, scold him. Like it felt, and then it felt like he'd be like, and just go like, like kind of like, okay, if that's what you want, I'll do it, instead of just being like, I am not necessarily that down. Like it just felt like he didn't try and actually be that genuine to himself.
mm-hmm,
And whether or not that was ill intentioned or just ignorance on his part or not knowing himself well enough, it just like, I don't know. It was very clear to me that he was going to end up building resentment towards her. Like, that's how I always felt about it. The way that their dynamic worked, I thought he was going to end up resenting her, which clearly he does.
there's a lot of resentment there. There's a lot of, I think, anger from his end. He seems to have a lot of anger issues. I don't know if you know this, but there was a clip of him going around, especially when Janae came back on the internet about the whole thing. He went on some Spanish reality show,
Okay.
because he speaks Spanish, and he was just very, like, he had crazy eyes and was doing some ignorant stuff. So I definitely feel like he has some weird egotistical anger issues. Clearly, he has this narrative of Janae. She has her version of the story. I'm not discrediting anyone, but I will say, Kenny, it doesn't look good for you at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's that. I wish them the best, and I hope that Janae continues to get her bag. and be a baddie.
She seems like she is. She came online on set and said, "Tell your lawyer to answer the phone." I'm on set, by the way. You want to do this? Let's go. Tell your cheap
Right.
lawyer to answer the phone. And I was like, dang, girl, okay.
I know.
Counting her blessings.
She said, I'm not a victim. I'm drowning in my blessings.
I know, literally. I wasn't that big of a fan of her on the show, but like that video made me a fan. Can't lie.
Yeah. And then second place were Leah and Miguel, which I know you had no faith in them
Not
whatsoever.
not even one letter. Just I thought they would be just over immediately, and they are still together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're
Blows my
still
mind.
together.
Blows my
I
mind.
I shared similar feelings as well. I definitely thought that they weren't going to last very long, considering that Miguel did bring a girl back from Casa Amor his season, leaving Leah by herself because she chose to stay in the couple with him. And as soon as that happened, it was like one of those situations where it was like a cabin situation where as soon as he saw, or Simba, where as soon as he saw Leah standing there, he was like, oh shit, what did I do?
Yeah.
And just the fact that his head turned so quickly during Casa Amor didn't give me the most faith in their relationship, but they are one of the
But it was
strongest
also pretty new,
couples.
wasn't it, when Casamore happened?
It was also still new. I believe he was a bombshell, so he came in later
Yes.
on. And yeah, I didn't really see their chemistry until off the screen, to be honest. And
Yeah.
now they live in LA together. They do like a bunch of farm stuff because Leah is such a big animal person. They have like chickens together and dogs and all of these things. So they're still very cute. He's 10 toes down for her. He seems to really love her, so
Good for them. I know. I know. I Listen, this is controversial. I was not a fan of the PPG
yeah, you
that
weren't.
season. I really wasn't. Just the way some of these girls moved, not as far as respecting their couple, but just I think they're standing up for yourself and not sitting down, but there were some things that they did that I just like felt was like it's not the way I would roll even if I was angry, and like I just didn't respect this group of girls. More and more I've seen them outside of the villa, I've been like, okay, maybe I could roll with you, but at one point I was literally like, I'm going to Calabasas with my binoculars looking for Leah. I was like, girl, uh-uh. No.
Yeah, it seemed the consensus were they were giving mean girl vibes.
Yeah, that's how
Um,
I felt.
I liked Leah. I definitely think she said some questionable things. I know she made fun of Rob, which received a lot of popularity and a lot of backlash at the same time. But now you sending 3 home is iconic. So it is
And
what
it
it
didn't even
is.
leave.
And he didn't even leave talking all that madness. But I still wish him the best. I think Miguel has really shown a different side of him outside of the villa. And sometimes the villa brings out the worst in you. So I'm
Absolutely.
giving them grace
Yeah,
for sure. And then we have our winners for season 6, which were Serena and Cordell, who are still together.
crazy. Also crazy. Didn't see it coming. Saw the winning, was guessing like a year, maybe.
Yeah, I didn't think that they were going to last either, considering they had a lot of drama happen their season. There was a lot of yelling from what I can remember, a lot of calling him a bitch, if I can remember.
Which is where I was like, I don't don't know if I roll with that, but okay.
Right. I think when it comes to belittling, I'm not defending men.
Absolutely not.
Some days I'm a certified man hater,
Most
but I
days I
do
am a
think
certified man hater.
I do think when it comes to belittling in a situation where someone's trying to communicate with you, that kind of hits below the belt. Just, you know, he was wrong for what he did for sure, but like,
Yes.
don't call the man a bitch when he's trying to talk to you in a calm manner.
Yeah, for
That's all
me,
I'm
like
saying.
the gold standard of how you handle sorry. For me, the gold standard of how Islanders handle Casa More shenanigans was this year on UK. I'm so sorry, but if you haven't, even just go watch the like 2 episodes after the recoupling from Casa More in UK. The way those women handled themselves and handled speaking to these men was, to me, the gold standard.
Mhm.
They definitely told them off, but they were also all quite calm. If the men were trying, like, two different girls were like, don't touch me. You know,
Mhm.
there was one girl who was brought back from Casa Amor who sat the boy down afterwards when he clearly was going back to his other girl, and she, like, walked him through step by step. Like, so why did you so you did what? And then he would say what he did, and she said, and you told me what? And then he would go, this. And she goes, and have you done X, Y, and Z since then? And be like, no. Like, just walked him through it, but absolutely dragged him without belittling him, to my to my memory, without
Mhm.
belittling him, without cursing at him, without raising her voice. And I was like, queen.
Yeah. And if you don't know who we're talking about, it's Mara.
It's Mara, who wants to be on Love Island USA, and I hope they send her straight there next season because I will be all over that.
I really want her on All Stars. I feel like she'd do better there. I feel like these USA men couldn't handle her. I'm just saying.
That is fair.
Okay. Now, that leaves us with moving on to season 7 because that's did you have anything to add?
No, Serena and Cordell, do your thing. I
Yeah,
saw them
that's it.
lasting
Like,
longer than Liam Miguel, so I was like, cool. I'm glad that the winner and runner up were appropriately chosen this time. Like, I'm glad.
yeah. And I mean, I see Serena and Cordell here and there, like online, but for the most part, they keep to themselves. I don't think they have any drama.
My brain went straight to like they live in Chicago or something. I was like, where?
I think they would fit in Chicago really well, to be
Absolutely.
honest. Okay, so season 7, in fourth place, we had
Wait, I would
I.
just like to give the lore real quick.
Oh, okay.
For anyone jumping in, for anyone who's missed it, as far as the lore, I am a huge Love Island fan. I have never rage quit a season so hard as I did season 7. Ace ruined it
Mm-hmm.
for me. She's really gonna have to walk me through this because I am not surprised that so many couples didn't last because no one was allowed to build real connections and the people that were actually falling for each other were kicked off.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. I forgot about Ace. Ace and Shelly.
They're not in the final, but they lasted a little while and broke up. Apparently, I saw it said like they lasted a couple months, and then there was fallout from the show.
Ace was really problematic, and he made me want to drive my head through a wall. I
Uh huh.
remember feeling that way.
And he made me rage quit my favorite show.
I quit after a certain time, and then I came back for the finale, and I fast forwarded so I could see who the winners were. I didn't even Google search. I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch it, and we'll get there. But we have Iris and Pepe in fourth place.
I don't know who those people are.
Okay. Um, Iris, she wasn't really that memorable to me. I do remember Pepe a lot because he was a hot commodity. He seemed to be the guy that everyone wanted. And if a bombshell came in, they wanted to get to know him. He didn't give loyal ever. They obviously are not together because Iris is now with TJ, which is another connection that she explored during her time there in the villa. But she ended up choosing Pepe over TJ.
Which, by the way, a bunch of articles like count Iris and TJ as like a Love Island couple that came off the show and stayed together or something, and I'm like, y'all with this freaking loophole. Also, I looked at a freaking like Cosmo article, or maybe it was People, and they
Mm-hmm.
were like 13 Love Island USA couples that are still together. And I was like, 13? And then I go through, and six of them, maybe even seven, were from this season, from season 8. And I was like, you don't get to make an article. Like,
Yeah,
what?
it was People magazine.
It's like it's been 3.5 seconds since that show ended. Nobody gets a gold star for being still together.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so
Um,
I vaguely remember Pepe, like kind of. I'm looking at a picture of him.
mm-hmm. He, I don't think he was anything special. I definitely think Iris, and she now knows, made the wrong decision when she chose Pepe over TJ. Because I remember being like, Iris, I don't know what you're doing, but go ahead, follow your heart. I have seen clips from Beyond the Villa on TikTok, because they did do a season of Beyond the Villa where she is seen like coming after him, even though she's dating TJ. So she still gives like bitter Betty. She doesn't know
Bitter
when to like
Betty.
give up. Like if I think Pepe's
I think
argument,
let go.
right? Pepe's argument was, "You've moved on. Why are you still coming after me?" And she just wouldn't let it go.
Dang.
And we do find out, I guess, apparently on Beyond the Villa, we see TJ asking Iris to be his girlfriend. That's when it happens.
Cute.
Yeah, love that for them.
I don't want
Whatever.
to watch Beyond the Villa. Mm-mm.
I
I
don't
won't.
either. I might watch it if they do it for this recent cast. I might. And if you guys want us to talk about it, I'll do it.
Fine.
um,
So I
okay.
just saw this, and I think this is hilarious
Mhm.
because I think I have a vague memory of knowing this, but didn't know it for sure. But the third place couple is Huda and Chris, but they broke up on their final date.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Huda. Oh man. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the picture of her going on on my
My
laptop,
God.
and I'm like, girl, could not catch a break that season.
She really couldn't. But also, here's the thing. Huda, if you don't know by now, is probably one of the most problematic islanders from Love Island's USA history. I think she went on the show being one of the most unhealed people I've ever seen in my entire life. She had no business going on that show. She also, let's not forget, has a daughter.
Mhm.
So she went on there with the intention of not telling anyone right off the bat that she had a child until she felt like she could trust people. And then later on, she starts revealing that she has a daughter.
But also, like,
Now,
your intro video is gonna say it. The first bombshell who comes in, or second bombshell that comes in, is gonna be like, "You have a daughter, right?" Like,
I know. I really don't know what she was thinking half the time. She really was an outcast when it came to her season with the girls. Like, none of the girls really fucked with her and didn't even after the show ended. I knew that they weren't gonna last long. I guess Chris had a problem with the level of affection that she was giving him, like it wasn't enough for him.
It wasn't enough from her?
Yeah,
She seemed like she was always all over what's his face. Who was the first person she was with that everyone drove them apart?
because it was toxic.
I don't think it was that toxic, to be honest. Jeremiah, right?
I think it was.
Here's
Yeah,
my thing. I've
Jeremiah.
seen this play out on other seasons of Love Island where other people poke their nose into a couple that seems immediately very strong and they start adding to it and making it toxic. You know what I mean? Because they were just seem
Mhm.
very like in a bubble. And I think they should have been allowed to be in their bubble. I think the other people were threatened by them and needed to like whisper things into his ear because it felt like all the guys were like, it felt like one of those times that the guys to her face would be like, everything's cool. And then go to him and be like, dude, you got to get away from her. You got to get away from her. You got to get away from her. And then he'd be like, no, I think everything's fine. Then maybe everything isn't fine. That's to my memory, but I've seen that dynamic play out before. And it
Mhm.
usually is a couple gets really close really fast. The girl is maybe, a little intense. Who am I to judge?
I mean,
I'm very passionate.
Huda came off very territorial, and I think that was one of the red flags for me. She came off really jealous. She was really emotional at times when when it would be times of like, this is Love Island, like you know what you signed up for. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying I'm not emotional. I cry for everything. A lot of people hated Huda, and actually, she was the one that I felt really bad for. But I also was like, girl, you got to get it together. Like,
Yes, for sure.
and it wasn't until Iris came in that Jeremiah kind of like turned his head, and it became an issue for the two of them.
Mm.
But ultimately, Huda and Chris didn't last at all. They tried to, I think, remain friends. They couldn't even do that. And since then, Huda has been served with a restraining order. I don't know if you know this. You didn't know this. um, just
Before.
that's why I'm telling you. I think she really needed to work on herself before coming onto the show.
A
So she
restraining
was
order
served.
from Chris?
No, she was served with a restraining order from an ex boyfriend. She snuck into the apartment complex of her ex boyfriend's partner, um, and made threats to harm herself and harm the child that her ex partner has with another woman. Yeah.
Never mind, she's unwell.
So
Red flags.
yeah, I I really think,
It's giving triple
and
water. It's giving triple water. Sign.
if there's not a Scorpio in there, I don't know what, or a Gemini, even like a Scorpio Gemini. I don't know, but she definitely needed to work on herself for sure before.
You know I'm Googling it.
I know you are. What does it say? What does it say? Oh no, her face. She is making a sour face if you're not watching right now. Oh gosh, and the eyes just opened.
She
Say
is
it.
a Virgo sun, Virgo moon, Cancer rising. So controlling and
Mm-hmm.
then water sign, drama. Cancers are weird. Oh,
That's
girl.
true. That's true. So, yeah, I mean, she was very problematic. And since then, has not seemed to work on herself in a way that I think she needs to.
I know she
I
works
don't
out.
she does work out. Take a
That's
sip
all I've
every
seen.
time I say work on herself. No, I just think mentally, and she's young too. I also believe she had her daughter when she was 19, if I'm not mistaken.
That poor child.
So, and as a product of two parents who had them at 19, I can relate.
21.
Yeah.
So, girl, man, man,
I
man,
hope she
man.
grows up. Yeah, that's all. I just hope she grows up and sets a better example for her daughter. That's what I hope for her. Chris, I don't know what the
Yeah,
hell he's doing. I can't be bothered with that man.
who cares?
Right.
Then we have the runners up, and this just happened like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
We have Nick
Olandria and Nick are
Olandria.
broken up.
They broke up. We know the tea. I truly never bought their relationship in the first place. I always felt like it was performative or like for publicity. They're both gorgeous in their
Yes.
own right. And apparently they still remain close friends even though they're broken up. So it's giving like friendship couple, but make it look romantic for the public.
Yeah, look, like I said, I rage quit. I was like, fucking bye. I was
Mm-hmm.
so mad at this show. I don't even remember what it was that pushed me over the edge, but I know that I missed most of the drama because the person that got kicked off for using slurs on Twitter was like slated to be the person who they thought was winning. I thought Ace was like figuring out how to win with Shelly. Um, and then someone goes to me, oh, well, Nick and Olandria are cute. I didn't even know Olandria had been kicked off, right?
Nick and Olandria had been kicked off, but then they got set up on a date where they could decide if they wanted to couple up, they could stay in the villa, or they could leave, which obviously they're going to couple up.
Obviously. Um, so yeah, so when someone was like, oh, well, Nick and Olandria are cute, I was like, what? This is literally me. Huh? What do you mean? Who? Them? Together? Okay. And I was like, that's fake. I was like, there's no way. I was like, there's no way. My friend was like, no, like, if you watch the edits back, blah, 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 da, 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 da. And I'm just like, well, you can edit anything the way you want and, like, project. So, yeah, I also never bought it. And then people were like, they're still together, they're still together, they're still together. And I was like, oh, okay, this is for real, for real. All right. Dang.
Mm-hmm.
And then even like 2 months ago, I saw some pictures of them at some sort of like um rave thing. I think one of them was DJing and they looked cute together. And I was like, oh, and I saw a couple pictures come up and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I see the vision. I guess I get it. And then all of a sudden, boom, broke it up.
Yeah. It, it, I don't know. They both seem fine. And I didn't see I didn't see the moments leading up to them being together when they went on the date after they both had gotten dumped. Nick was like, well, I've always been attracted to you. I've always wanted to, I do want to see if things can go somewhere because I like you or whatever. And I was like, huh? Where did these feelings come from and why were they never revealed? So it took me by surprise. Not not really surprised that they're broken up, but it is what it is. They're both doing fine. I think they're
Of
both
course.
models now. So,
Yeah, they'll both be completely fine.
and then we have our first place couple, which is Amaya Papaya, and Brian. Oh, Jesus Christ. They are no longer together. They broke up literally a month after they ended their journey in the villa. And apparently he broke up with her via text message after they had been physically intimate and right before he was supposed to meet her family.
Oh no.
I know.
Oh no.
Yeah. So uh, I actually really like them and their journey in the villa. Ryan, I believe, came in as a bombshell, and he seemed to be the only one to really understand Amaya. Like, she's quirky.
Mhm.
She is her own vibe.
We don't
I
want to do
remember,
that.
I know,
That's all I can think of when I think of her.
I think she had some drama in the villa, but I can't remember what specifically. But I always remember that Brian would come to her defense and
That's
stick up
good.
for her, which that's why I thought like Brian was going to be a ride or die for her because he seemed to really be into her. So it took me by surprise when they didn't last.
In our
And
trash, what's new?
that's true. She since has done some work on herself in the physical sense.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know what Brian's doing. I can't be bothered with him.
Everyone knows the heroes of Love Island are the women. The people that get famous off this show are the women. It's never like sure the guys do well doing their thing and basically being like about like if anything they do well usually staying connected to the show and like doing live streams and stuff about the show. Like all the guys that I've seen that have done the best after, it's usually they're connected in that way to the show afterwards.
Hmm.
Um and so it's a whole situation that way. But also, there's another couple that wasn't in the final four that was still together until literally like 2 weeks ago from season 7.
Yes, Taylor and Clark, who apparently broke up a week after Nick and Alandria. And then people were trying to insinuate that there was something going on between Taylor and Alandria. And that's why things had ended. I'm not feeding into the rumors. There's also cheating rumors on Taylor's end, but he's denied them. And Clark has just said that she needed to focus on her personal growth, and that's why they ended. But they also lasted a long time.
A year.
Yeah, that's true.
Long for Love Island USA. That is to be totally fair. I do
Mm-hmm.
think that the allegations about there being something between Taylor and Alandria was because somebody unfollowed someone in the foursome that made it weird. It was like Nick unfollowed Taylor or Clark unfollowed Alandria. It was something like that. It was something between them where in that group of four, someone unfollowed someone, and so then they were like, "Oh, did something go on
Mm-hmm.
like that?"
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. But yeah, that was interesting. I didn't see them to get together. I didn't even make it to Casa Amor that season. Listen, season 7 was a mess. It was just mess, pure mess.
I mean, yeah. If you had Huda on there, that was a mess.
Yeah, yeah. Just and because even looking at like who ended up in the final, I'm sorry, Nick's last name is Van Steenberg. There's so many letters. Oh my god. Okay. Recovering from that. But yeah, just looking at the final couples and like from who was there from the beginning to who made it to the end, it's so few people. Like that's just a sign
Mm-hmm.
of a really, really messy season of Love Island, as we know
Mm-hmm.
from the fight that happened on UK about OG's lasting the longest.
Oh, Jesus. Whatever.
Um, but yeah, I think it's a shame that Love Island USA has such an awful, awful, awful track record. For people staying together. There's so few. I think there's one couple that maybe is engaged that was on somewhere there, or that they have an upcoming engagement or something. So maybe one couple out of 8 seasons is going to get married. And then in the UK, there's like 6 long-term couples like that. Slash, there are several other couples, not usually winners, who stay together for over a year. So it's
Oh,
very
um,
interesting how badly we do in the US.
yeah, season 5, which I didn't watch, but Hannah and Marco are engaged and are set to marry this December.
Yep. It's
Oh,
crazy.
and also from season 5, Taylor and Bergie, they are engaged as well.
Oh, okay, so 2 engagements. It's not as bad as I thought. But
Mhm.
yeah, Love Island UK really, and again, I think it's a distance thing. I think it's a distance thing. Like I'm sure if it was like Love Island Spain or something, like country, or Love Island France, like countries that are even smaller, I'm sure there are
Mhm.
people that last longer because it's like, who cares? Like drive 4 hours. I don't mind.
I don't either. But that's the tea, I think.
And that's the tea. Mm. Matcha, matcha, matcha.
That was
Matcha,
some
matcha,
ASMR for y'all.
matcha. Little.
Ice in the cup.
Hell yeah. Um,
Someone's gonna be annoyed by that.
somebody. Meanwhile, someone was complaining that we weren't drinking tea enough, whereas I had stopped drinking tea as much because I got freaked out because someone was upset by the slurping sounds. So it's all like, you're never gonna win, and that's okay.
Nope.
That's okay. Thanks y'all for all your support. I broke the Patreon. I have to fix it. I'm working on it. Um, sometimes
To
I'm
be
bad at adding
to be fair,
things.
I've been telling her to fix it.
She has. We should just have switched it to you and let you put your ID in or whatever it is. I I just like I've been marking episodes as explicit just in case because we like drop an F-bomb here or there, and then because Love Island the topic of sex comes up and stuff, and so Patreon's just being really weird with us because things are marked as explicit because I think they think we're making porn. Something
Oh.
like actually, and they're being like, you need a
Mhm.
um, and that's what's going on with that. And hopefully by the time another episode is up, I will be saying the Patreon is officially fixed and it is really a thing, a thing, a thing. Because that's how I talk, right?
Yes, actually you do.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all who are still listening, even when Love Island is over. And there's lots of love here.
Yes, we do. And I haven't seen Gigi in over a week, so it was so nice to see her again. I'm looking forward to the USA reunion. I have already seen photos. Girls.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Um, do you want to? And then I think our next topic is probably what we don't want to see, I think. Oh, or we might be doing. I think we have plans for an episode either on like things that we want to see change on the show
Mhm.
coming up, or we were going to do talk about islanders we want to send to other versions of the show. So, like talking like, oh, this person on US should be on UK, and that person on UK would do really well on US, or this person should be sent to Australia. Like, that seemed like a fun one to do. If there's anything you really want to hear us talk about, I would definitely hit us up. Leave a message, do a thing, call us, beep us if you want to reach us.
Okay, Wade.
Yeah, thanks for listening, y'all. You'll hear from us next week. Until
Yeah.
then. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, wait.
What?
We didn't tell people where to follow us.
I think they know.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.